It's Tuesday the 18th of October. I'm James Luckhurst and today is the second day of the 2022 Project Edward Week of Action. Our first road trip report today comes from the city centre of Oxford, where Oxford City Council and local road safety partners are promoting their Vision Zero road safety strategy.
So welcome to sunny Oxford, and today it's day 2 of the road trip, and we're delighted to be the guests of the City Council here, who are going to showcase to us some of the best practice that's going on in road safety. And in particular, the theme of today is about safer vehicles. So we're hoping many of the partners we have today are going to demonstrate some of the activities that they are taking from the police. We've got the Fire and Rescue Service, and we've got a number of other associations, in particular the British Horse Society and the Cycling Organisation. So we look forward to bringing this programme to you.
So I'm Alison Hill. I'm chair of Cyclox, which is the cycle campaign group for Oxford. So we are a campaign group that's going to have our 20th anniversary next year. Came about because of concern that the voice of cycling hadn't been heard well enough. And that although Oxford has a very high cycling rate, it seems to be despite all the infrastructure in the city rather than because of. So, because we don't have, even now, really good cycling routes, segregated cycling routes, for instance. One of the things that shocked the cycling community and the wider community is that over the last 2 years, we have had 4 deaths of young women on their bikes. We're also campaigning for segregated cycle routes because that is the way to ensure safety of many, many cyclists. And I think we're pushing against an open door, but Oxford's a medieval city and with pretty narrow streets, so that's going to be difficult in a lot of places. And so the other part of our campaign is also trying to reduce the amount of traffic that there is in the city. So, because that is making our roads safer by reducing the number of cars and number of heavy goods vehicles on our roads.
Andy Ford, I'm a station manager with Oxfordshire Fire and Rescue Service County Council Road Safety Team. I think that the ideal solution to all of this with multiple road users is segregation. Makes it safer. You know, cyclists, I'll say, if the cycle lanes are there, use them. Keep yourself separated from the big metal boxes that drive around on 4 wheels. But inevitably, there's going to be areas where we have to share the space. And our message today, and as it is always, is we need to share that road. We need to respect the other road users, understand the vulnerability of cyclists and pedestrians. But just be alert and be aware. But as we know, most collisions are down to driver error. So every driver, every road user has a responsibility for their safety and the safety of other people on the roads.
Okay, so I'm Robin Tucker. I'm the chair of the Oxfordshire Cycling Network, which is a federation of cycling groups and individuals across the county. Yeah, so we campaign for better conditions for cyclists and encouraging more people to cycle. And in that we work with the council and other organisations to try to make that happen.
Where we've had unfortunate fatalities, it's often been centred around a left turn via a vehicle. Something of this nature, what is it that can be done to try and prevent that from happening?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I think there are issues around road design on that, and there's also issues about driver and cyclists' positioning and behaviour. So I think it's really important for drivers, a lot of these involve heavy goods vehicles. It's really important for drivers to be aware when they're turning left, particularly that a cyclist might be there. And for cyclists, it's really important to know that the left-hand side of heavy goods vehicles is a really dangerous place to be. And either make sure you're well ahead so that you can be seen, you're not in that blind spot, or stay behind when you're not sure you can get in front.
Hello, I'm Claire Benson. I'm the Specialist Units Manager from Hampshire and Thames Valley Joint Operations Road Policing. The Safe Drive Stay Alive focuses on younger drivers or people that are coming up to their driving tests. and we reach out to different schools and colleges around, and we invite them to come and see our performances that take place in November.
If there was one thing that you could share with that national audience of what you're doing here, what would it be? What would your one wish be that others around the country would adopt or do more of?
Yeah, I think I would want all local authorities via police to actually deliver and make sure that they deliver to a younger age group and ensure that they target so that they can prepare their young people for the roads, especially as roads are getting busier, we all know that, and just to make them feel confident and make sure that they're getting the right tool set to cope with driving.
I'm Colin Patterson. I work for DriveTech. We're a wholly owned subsidiary of the Automobile Association, the AA, and our predominant focus is on the driver training, driver risk management. We've had a few vehicles come onto our own fleet, and because of the nature of our business, we're more interested in the vehicle handover. We're more interested in the educational side. And I have to tell you, some of the handovers are shocking. So I understand what's happening. A typical dealership is selling a vehicle, they're very delighted about it and they're very pleased with the revenue. But the care and courtesy and information handover in terms of knowledge about the vehicle, how to handle it safely, I'm afraid to say isn't very well conveyed. And that, we argue, is unbelievably critical. So you've asked a very salient point. It's unbelievably important to make sure that people do know how to get the best out of the vehicle. It's not explained brilliantly.
Well, I can't believe it. We've just come to the end of a tremendous day here in Oxford. The support has been unbelievable from all partners. We've seen Cyclops from the cycling campaign down here. We've seen Blood Bike down here in particular that gave us a very good insight into what's required behind that operation. We saw ROSPA talk about the importance of training as well. And I'm pleased to say as well, we had some of our partners down here from the private sector, and it was lovely to see our friends from Bosch and from DriveTech. So that's a wrap here from Oxford, and we look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow down at the Met Police in London.
That's the end of the programme and our second day of the 2022 Week of Action. Thank you to everyone who helped with today's events, our partners, and to you for watching. Don't forget to follow our social media channels. We're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram and YouTube. Like and share our messages if you can, and post your own road safety messages adding the hashtag ProjectEdward. Also, check out the Project Edward podcast, Are We There Yet?, which you can access on the Project Edward website or wherever you normally get your podcasts. And remember that National Safe Speed Day starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning with a 24-hour period of concerted speed enforcement by police across the country. I hope you can join us again tomorrow evening for an update on that and the rest of the road trip as our intrepid road trip crews visit Cardiff, Preston and London. See you tomorrow.